We are here. We did it. We're live. I did it. I'm the best. Switching to coffee, folks. No more energy drinks. I gotta quit that before I go bald. My hair's about to fall out. There was a study that came out recently that scared the crap out of me. It's like 40% of people who regularly drink energy drinks are go bald, or like you're 40% more likely to go bald if you drink energy drinks. Both my grandpas are bald, and they say that's a gene that skips a generation, right? And then, so I just don't need to be like increasing the chances that I go bald. I don't need that. I've already got good chances. Hey, Jacob. How's it going, brother? How is it going?
Don't forget to smile, remember?
Forget to smile. It's such a nice moment. They're so in love.
I've heard.
I wish there were more politics in this game.
Great news.
I guess Yuna marrying Maester
Yuna
Seymour is pretty political, like a
journey,
political
even after
marriage. I don't know how that relates to anything in socialism, though. Oh, this is weird.
Seriously, a wedding's not supposed to make people.
Come on, don't say.
I say what I
Too
want.
much.
Ever since I was a kid.
I have to. Let's see if that works.
Oh, so you're an adult now?
You know it.
You gotta turn it up even more. Let me know how the audio is for you guys. I'll just turn this up to like 80. Let me know how it's
Yuna's really quiet.
Still pretty quiet. Yuna is very quiet. Yeah, so is the game volume. So.
Can we go now? I'm tired.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. You're right, Riku. I'm tired of waiting too. What up, Eddie? Not much. How's it going, Eli? How is it going? Pretty good, comrade. Especially see you handing Groomer Vouch a fat L.
Should I would Captain
Yeah, and I didn't
Lucille
even have to bring up any of the grooming accusations. And I read up on them too. And they are real, and they are not
He'll
good.
be rich by tomorrow.
And he never took accountability for them.
Right.
Because he never takes accountability for anything. Kind of his MO, you know? Got here. First strike, that would be nice. Thanks, Awaka. You're the man. Ooh, we already got an enemy. The game audio is louder than your voiceover audio. Oh, shoot. That's not good. Why is it being like that? Why must it be like this? The headphones worked so well last time. Maybe I'll unplug my headphones and see if that's better. Let's see what I got here for audio. Yeah, it should be working. Just started reading Foundations of Leninism. Nice. That's one of my favorites. I reread that recently. What do you think of it? That's one of those books that breaks things down real simple, which I like because I'm a simple man. I'm a big fan of that book. That's written by Stalin, correct? Stalin's writing is underrated. People are just scared of like the boogeyman of Stalin, right? They're terrified of being called a Stalinist or whatever, but that's just bourgeois propaganda, man. Stalin was pretty great. and he wrote some pretty great stuff. So this is what it is. I don't know how else to say it. It's just the truth. One thing I noticed was a visual bias power play of Vaush used by making your face cam smaller than his head. Yeah, that's interesting, and that's why I should have streamed the debate, right? And so I accidentally, it was literally an accident. I ended up on the infrared show by accident after the debate. And that was one of the things that Haas said as far as constructive criticism was like, you should have streamed this because you would have gotten like 1,000, views at one time at least. I'm like, you're right. That was really stupid. And we gave, as Jacob was pointing out, we gave Voosh a bunch of views, which nobody likes. So I should have streamed it, which means I got to figure out how to use Streamlabs. And people know that Carlos and I are technologically deficient. We spend all our time freaking reading instead of figuring out how to work Discord and stream and stuff. But we got to figure it out. We got to figure that kind of stuff out, and we can't be making those kind of mistakes. So should have streamed it and should have made my head larger and, stuff like that. Thank you for bringing that up, Jacob, because that's a good point. Because like Noah was saying, we got to learn to use some of the tricks that Vaush uses. Not the worst tricks. Like there's one thing that he does where he'll ask you about minutia to try and get you confused. Like when I was talking about the coup in Ukraine, and he was trying to get me to name the exact date of every specific event that I brought up and like the exact time and date. It's to get you to think, right? And it's to get you confused. So you're thinking about dates while also trying to continue to speak. And then he can trip you up and, be like, oh, you don't even know. You're so stupid, blah, 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 blah. So like those are debate tactics that I just think are stupid and like any smart person can see through, and it's nothing that I would ever want to replicate. But stuff like having our face be big on the screen instead of his face. Stuff like streaming it from the Midwestern Marx channel rather than just letting him stream it and have his chat there. These are things that we can learn from in the future. I mean, part of the reason I wanted to do the debate was because I've only done like 3 debate. I mean, that was my 3rd debate ever, right? And I know that Vaush is a good rhetorician. He's articulate. He's good at debating. He's done it a lot. He's good at tripping people up. So honestly, I thought there would be way more points where I did get tripped up, which would be good to learn from then going forward. I could learn how to debate better moving forward. Honestly, I did better than I thought I was going to do with all that stuff. But there's still definitely things to be learned, right? Always things to be learned from that. So yeah, going forward, maybe we'll do more debates. It certainly brought on a lot of followers for the channel. It certainly brought a lot of people to Midwestern Marx and generated a lot of interest in the Institute. So, oh yeah, and I ended up on Haas's stream by accident because somebody was like, hop in our Discord voice chat and deconstruct the debate. Deconstruct your W, they said. I'm like, okay. Let's do that. I'll talk to whoever these people are in the voice chat, and I get in this Discord voice chat, and all of a sudden I'm literally on the infrared show. Like I'm like on the live show. I'm like, what the hell? How did this happen? So I'm like, whatever. I'll just talk to Haas, and it was an interesting conversation. It was fun to hear his feedback, and he fleshed out some of the points that he thought I could have hit on harder. Or some of the points that I neglected to make, or some of the points that I wasn't aware of that he was, because he's studied Russia pretty closely. I had all sorts of DMs from people explaining it to me. Or, I mean, giving me extra information and sources. Can you guys hear the voice audio right now? I can't hear anything. Do I need to reenact this? Pleasantly surprised, of course. Lord Seymour sends his apologies for having left without notice. Oh yeah, this guy talks weird.
Quite all right.
It's quite all right.
I have one question,
if I may, sir.
My lady.
My lady.
I want to
keep journeying, even if I marry.
Even if I marry. Do you think that Maester Seymour would let me?
But of course, my
Yeah.
lady. Lord Seymour wishes nothing else, I'm sure.
I was going to show you some support in his chat, but he had to be subscribed to him for 12 hours first. Yeah, that's another smart thing.
Well, We must follow Grotto
We must
tradition.
follow Guado tradition.
I'll have to ask you to wait here.
I'll have to ask you to wait here a little longer.
I'll send someone to escort you.
We're all with you. Do as you will.
Thank you.
Can you guys hear the game right now? I literally can hear
That
nothing.
was your line.
Yuna!
Yoda!
Yes, sir.
Bye. What are we going to do without Yuna?
I'll bet.
Oh, they got captured by the Albed. Hold on, let me try and fix the audio quick here. Maybe if I turn my headphones off. How is it now? How are you now? Oh, good, and you? Not so bad, and you? Let me know how the audio is, fam. We'll fight this thing. Hey Eddie, are you only streaming on Twitch or are you also on YouTube and TikTok? I'm on Eddie Ligersmith Gaming on YouTube, but not our regular YouTube channel. Not on TikTok either. I don't know how to stream to TikTok from StreamYard. I don't know if you can. I know there used to be a feature where some accounts could do it from Streamlabs. I don't know if that's still the case. What the hell? You know, if I have to fight this thing. Now the game audio is muffled? Dang it.
Translation? It's gonna use an anti-magic field on us.
Let me try resharing my screen in a sec after this. All right, we're going to fight this thing. All right, now let me know how it is. That should be better. If not, I might have to restart the game itself. But disabled all magic and summoning. No, that's not good. You got to get rid of that thing first, then. I attack it with Titus out of range. Okay, how about who can attack this thing? Riku probably can. Let me use an item. We gotta go to special. Yeah, there we go. Use grenade. To be honest, I was very skeptical about subscribing to Vouch because I was worried that his mods and chat would just either mute me or permanently ban me from watching the day. Yeah, no, you made the right choice, Jacob. Definitely wasn't worth it to subscribe just to join. I just think that's a good idea for us because, like, then when people come to your chat, it stops trolls from getting in the chat, which is a constant problem that we have to deal with, and two, it gets people to subscribe to your channel. Yeah, pretty. I don't know. I switched up our YouTube chat and made it that way recently. So, shoot. Now we're out of items. Give me a grenade. Lunar curtain. Come on. Come on. Maybe you can try turning up the game volume a little bit. Game sounds pretty good now. Okay, cool. I thought that might work. Boink. Oop, let's speed this up. Forgot to speed her up. Can I steal again? Can only steal lunar curtains, it seems. We'll just bring in Oren. Have him just start taking swings at this thing. Alright, we gotta get rid of this thing. Yeah, what did you guys think of the debate? Or what do you think of foundations of Leninism? I'd rather talk about that than the debate at this point, honestly. Tell me your thoughts on foundations. I want to hear them. That's one of my favorite books. I like what Sankara says. Marxism is the fist. Leninism is the hand that moves the fist. You know, and it leads to a lot of people saying that's what she said, but it's still a good point. Like, Leninism is putting Marxism into practice, putting it into action, actually creating the workers' revolution theorized by Marx. I ran out of things to steal from him. All right, we finally got rid of that stupid thing. Now this thing's in trouble. Mana beam in 3 turns. What the hell's a mana beam? We gotta kill it in 3 turns so we don't find out. What's this thing weak to? Thunder? Aren't Machina usually weak to thunder? Or do they like thunder? Okay, that was not very good. Well. Ouch. Thoughts on the prison system? I think it needs to be the existing system. The system as it exists right now needs to be abolished and reworked because it's not working. There's over 70% of people. There's over 70% recidivism rate, meaning 70% of people at least end up going back to prison after they get out. So it's not a system of rehabilitation. It's been proven to prey upon poor people and minority communities as well, and it's become a multi-billion-dollar industry with the prison industrial complex. Not only are there private prisons, but there are companies like Aramark who sell food to the prisons. There are phone companies like AT&T who, you pay when you make your phone calls from prison, and they're making money by keeping the prisons filled with bodies. So there's a constant incentive and a constant lobby pressing politicians to make harsher laws and harsher sentences and keep the prisons full. And like, if you go back, like, Joe Biden was one of the main people pushing for this. He was taking a tough on crime stance, and you can hear some of this. You can go back and watch some of the speeches that he gave on the floor of Congress, and they're just disgusting. Arguing for harsher prison sentences for nonviolent offenders, portraying black people and poor people as just thugs who could attack you at any moment or attack your family at any moment. So we need more police budgets, and we need to throw them in jail. That's the answer. They never talk about meeting people's needs. They never talk about the things that actually decrease crime and rehabilitate people, like education. Right? It's always, we need more cops. We need more prisons. Do we, though? Because it doesn't seem like the cops in the prisons are working right now. To be tough on crime, to fight crime. How do we avoid this mana beam attack? I don't like it. Get blasted again. Stalin's Foundations of Leninism was the first text by Stalin I've read, followed by Dialectical and Historical Materialism. Yeah, I underrated Foundations of Leninism when I got it. I didn't know it was going to be as good as it was, but I really like it. Dialectical and Historical Materialism is probably still, I like it a little more. But then also, with that, there's Mao's On Contradiction, which is basically a better version of dialectical and historical materialism, or maybe not a better version, but similar in that it helps people understand dialectics. But Mao's philosophy actually added to Marx's dialectic with the concept of non-antagonistic contradictions. So I like that one a little more if we're talking books written to help people understand dialectics. But Dialectical and Historical Materialism by Stalin is still pretty great. Great start for understanding it. Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh no, another one of these things. Dang it. This is a tough battle. It is a tough battle, folks. Oh, mana beam interrupt. Okay, so it can only shoot the mana beam if it has that thing. Or can't shoot the mana beam when we have that thing. That's interesting. And kind of weird. Alright, we stopped the mana beam. No, that's not what I wanted. Here we go. Boom. Stalin really needs to be leveled up. That is just the truth. He's just not up to par yet. This ain't as strong as Oren. Part about how imperialist wars create the conditions for revolution made me think of Ukraine. Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. How did it make you think of Ukraine? You think like the conditions in Ukraine are ready for revolution right now? It would be interesting to hear what the people of Ukraine actually have to say about the conflict, not just the propaganda and the media outlets in Kiev, you know. Because you imagine a lot of them have got to be anti-NATO and have got to be like, you know, this is provoking Russia and Ukrainians are being pushed to their death, you know, by NATO, basically at gunpoint. So I'm sure a lot of them are against NATO and, you know, critical of the Kiev regime right now. Unfortunately, it's hard to know because opposition is systematically being captured and tortured by the SBU. And a lot of the ethno-nationalist groups like Right Sector brag about the control and the collaboration that they are able to have with the Ukrainian SBU, which is the Ukrainian intelligence agency that was directly trained by the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency in the U.S. So them working together with the ethno-nationalists gives the ethno-nationalists a lot of legitimacy. It gives them a lot of power, and it's basically allowed them to systematically kill and torture anybody who dissents or sides with Russia and shut down any media outlets who would report anything like that. So pretty terrible stuff, yeah. V, X, V, C, V. Ah, dang it. I was not ready. I forgot what it was. Ah, it's so sad. Well. Boom. Thing's got to be almost dead at this point. Oh, stupid. All right, we're going to get this one now. I'm ready for this one. Great. Yeah. Cut it up. 70, 66. That's not that much. 68, 66. Do like 200. Oh, well, that's a lot of shots. Took a lot of shots at that boy. That boy, the boss. Boom. All right, let's try and make sure Oren doesn't die when we get hit by this mana beam here. We did it. He didn't die. Some damage. Now he died. Oh, we'll do slots next. Actually, do I need to have someone alive at all times? Otherwise, do I get a game over? We might be in trouble here, folks. I gotta hit him with the slots. I gotta get this right to win. I gotta kill him right here, right now. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted either. All right, I did terrible. Woo! Also made it to chapter 7 of England Anti-During and 3 of What Is to Be Done. Nice. What Is to Be Done gets a little bit dry. What do you think of Anti-During so far? Hopefully this doesn't result in a game over. Can I switch out my party? Dang it, I'm so used to Final Fantasy 12 where they let you switch out your party if they die. Dang it, I knew I should have kept someone in. Poop. Well, we're gonna have to restart that fight. Yeah, Anti-During is awesome though. That is one of the core texts, the core Marxist works. So I'm glad you're taking the time to read that, and glad you're on chapter 7 already. You're cooking, man. Cooking with peanut oil. Let's say it's 15 hours. Do the autosave. It made me think of Ukraine because the cost of living crisis in Europe and the U.S. and anger towards government and imperialism is generating. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. So not revolution in Ukraine, but revolution here at home. Yes.
Lady, you know.
In the chapter about the decay of imperialism and Lenin's imperialism, I feel like he describes that. We can skip this. Watch this. Except I don't remember how to skip. Well, yeah, he talks about how imperialism starts to decay and it starts to make living standards worse, not only in the countries being targeted by imperialism, but in the home country, where jobs are outsourced and there's this process of financialization. People are constantly being sent to fight and die in imperialist wars. It turns them against their government. People realize that trains are derailing at home, our infrastructure is crumbling at home, and our government's hyper-focused on sending weapons to Ukraine. So imperialism, which is capitalism in its highest stage, creates the conditions for revolution everywhere. Everywhere. Okay, I have a new strategy for this. I'm only going to hit that thing when this guy's about to use the mana beam. And until then, I'm just going to hit this thing. Boom. Switch out here. Because that thing stops me from using magic, but I don't really need to use magic right now. Shall protect you from magic or attack. That might have been useless. Let's see how much damage Orin takes. Yeah, I think it was useless. Just keep stealing. Couldn't steal anything. Why? Steal from the rich and give to the poor. Now this thing's not even using its mana beam. We'll use this. Big brain move. Also, something that I noticed was how Bush's use of identity politics in regard to him dismissing neo-Nazis holds a significant amount of power in Western Ukraine by pointing out that its president is Jewish, whose family died in the Holocaust. Yeah, that was pretty silly. I mean, people say that all the time. And it's like, yeah, they probably don't like that Zelensky's Jewish. They probably don't love it, but Zelensky's allowing them to do what they want. He's allowing them to fight the main people who they hate, the main identity group that they hate, which is Russian speakers, which, you know, has always been true of Nazis, but especially the neo-Nazis of the Ukrainian variety, these Ukrainian ethno-nationalists. Their main antagonist is Russians. So if there's this one Jewish guy who's basically a U.S. puppet running the country and allowing them to keep killing Russians, right? They're not going to depose that Jewish guy. They're just going to keep, you know, doing what they're doing. And there have been times when Zelensky has gone to speak with leaders of the neo-Nazi battalions and paramilitaries that are killing people in the Donbass and told them to lay down arms, and they basically mock him, right? They basically laugh at him. They're like, okay, buddy, go back to Kiev. You know, we're not going to stop. And then, you know, Zelensky goes back to Kiev. And it's become more and more clear since 2014 who's really running the country, who's really in power. So if he's going to allow them to keep doing that, they're not going to depose him, right? Just because he's Jewish. How healthy are Gorilla Mind PM AM fat burner? I need to get to 160. I'm 8 pounds away. I use their fat burner every time I cut weight. Alpha 2 AM. It's pretty healthy. I mean, as healthy as a fat burner can be. And as a stimulant can be. Definitely don't take it every day. I mean, I took it every day in the lead up to competition because I was in a calorie deficit for like a month. But nowadays, I'll just take it if I really need some energy when I'm working out, or if I, you know, want to save my appetite or want to fast for some reason. And then I'll take days off, and then it hits you harder, obviously, if you take days off. But Alpha 2 AM is pretty great. Yeah, it's a pretty great supplement. And then if you want, you can get the Gorilla Mode Nitric, which is the stimulant-free pre-workout, and you can stack it with Alpha 2 AM. So that's what I do. I'll drink coffee or an energy drink, so I'm still getting stimulation before I work out, and then I can take the non-stimulant pre-workout, or I can take Alpha 2 AM stimulants and stack that with the pre-workout. You're not frying your brain, but you're still getting everything that you need, everything that you would want from a pre-workout and from a fat burner. So pretty good question. It's pretty good stuff. I'm a big fan of the Gorilla Mind products. Not to be a dirty capitalist, but Derek from More Plates, More Dates is a smart guy. A very smart guy. How is he immune to that? I do not understand. I love anti-During. So far, that's my favorite. Or my favorite parts have been Ingalls pointing out Eugene During's work is riddled with idealism and plagiarism, and when Ingalls calls out During for falsely claiming that Charles Darwin said something that contradicts what Darwin actually said. Nice, yeah. It's Marx and Ingalls' systematic criticisms of people are often so amazing. They'll basically, or they'll basically dismantle the entire system of thought that whoever they're criticizing used, like During in that example, and they'll show where they went wrong. They'll not only show that they're wrong, but they'll show where they went wrong in their analysis. Like Marx does that with Adam Smith all the time. He's like, Adam Smith comes to the wrong conclusions, and here's why. Because in his work, you know, he made this mistake and that mistake, and really like sublates Adam Smith's work, brings it to a higher level, sublates it, criticizes everything that's wrong systematically, and then draws out and elevates everything that's correct about it, which is, how new things are created, how things are sublated in the from the dialectical view. So it's pretty great stuff, if you ask me. I'm pretty biased. I like me some Marx, but I think anyone could admit they wrote some real great stuff. Some real great stuff. High Potion. What is Anti-Do-Ring about? It's one of Engels' masterpieces. It's a criticism of, like Jacob said, Eugene Do-Ring, who's kind of been forgotten by history, right? But it was a critique of him and his philosophy that allowed Engels to explain Marxist philosophy and explain dialectics and explain the connection between dialectical materialism and science and the scientific method, which Engels was really good at doing and really fond of doing. So it's definitely one of his masterpieces, like I said. And the critiques of Do-Ring just allow, like, Do-Ring's philosophy is a good jumping off point for Engels to start explaining Marxist philosophy. So even though Do-Ring isn't that important of a historical figure anymore or anything, it's still worth reading Engels' critiques of him. There are some things that aren't worth it, like Tom Riggins points out in his reading guide of Anti-Do-Ring, that like there are some critiques of Do-Ring that are just like not even worth reading anymore because they aren't relevant. But almost all of them are still relevant today. Yeah, that's what it's about. And it's good stuff. I tell you what, folks, it is real good stuff. Some might even say it's great stuff. Those Marx and Engels, they were always writing great stuff. Just real good stuff for the workers. You gotta love it. All right, I'm ready this time. I'm ready. V, X, C, C, left, right, C. No, I fucked up. Dang it. Oh, I suck. Why do I suck so bad? Why am I so garbage? I missed it by one freaking button. One button. All right, I gotta check. I gotta bring in someone with a sensor and check how much health this thing has. Boink. I can do that right now, actually. Riku? Getting there. Got over half his health is gone. All right, Stalin, do a critical hit or something. We need you. Just gonna keep using potions. The thing doesn't counterattack. I can't use Gatling gun anyways, whether I attack him or not, actually. Anti-Do-Ring is a response to an academic named Eugene Do-Ring, who is just an idealist and plagiarist scientist that is extremely anti-Semitic. Yeah, that's true. He also debunks all of Do-Ring's anti-Semitism, which is great to see. And people still say that Marx and Engels were anti-Semitic. I'm like, you guys are ridiculous. Marx and Engels' theory of historical materialism is the ultimate debunk to anti-Semitism, because it tells us there's no real difference between, you know, races or different ethnic groups or different kinds of people, right? Other than the differences that are created by differences in material conditions, differences in the environment. So there were a lot of material factors back in the day that pushed Jewish people into banking, which resulted in all these ridiculous anti-Semitic conspiracies about Jews running the world. When there are very material reasons, there are tons of material factors that resulted in, you know, a large number of Jewish people being involved in the banking industry. But these anti-Semitic conspiracies jump to saying it's because they're Jewish that they control things, as if that makes any sense, right? There's no basis. It's idealism. There's no basis in the material. It's not rooted in fact and historical development. So Marxist historical materialism is the ultimate debunk to this nonsensical race science and the anti-Semitism that has been so prevalent and so popular in the Western world, and among neo-fascist and fascist groups. The Western world and East Europe, I will say. Let's cheer everybody up. This thing with a grenade quick. Might as well, since we got it. It's on with a high potion. We're getting there, folks. We're just whittling away at this thing. I don't know what else to do except just attack it. Boink. Getting there, folks. Getting there. So as long as we don't take out that sensor thing, he really can't use his big attack there. Interesting. I mix a lunar curtain, the high potion. Hits everybody. Whatever, we're gonna try it. We're gonna see what happens. Hopefully we don't heal the bad guys. Nope, we didn't. Okay, it just gave us health. Nice. Nice. Yeah, give Orin his overdrive attack, please. Please. Should have switched Titus's weapon to something with thunder. Here. Oh, this does have lightning strike on it. Okay, we're good. Should have this. Don't die on me. Attack. Boom. Don't die on me, Riku. I've been reading Dialectics of Nature and I've been thoroughly enjoying it. Dialectics of Nature is awesome. Yeah, that's like Engel's masterpiece. He understood science so well. He stayed up to date with all the hard sciences and used that in his philosophy and in his analysis. Dialectics of Nature is the perfect example of that. And there's so much from Dialectics of Nature that holds up today. Similar to Origins of the Family, Private Property, and the State, where Engels was way ahead of modern anthropology and really had a lot of his predictions or analyses confirmed by modern anthropological research. And, you know, looking at the kind of family forms that existed in the prehistoric era and prehistoric times, and how human societies evolved, not devolved, but they basically had the forms of primitive communism at first, right, where they were living communally in a non-class society, showing that communism is possible. Capitalism and selfishness are not the only things that can work for humanity. Yeah. All right, this might do it. This might kill these guys. Finally. One thing I'll say about anti-Dühring is that in some parts of the earliest chapters, when Engels talked about natural philosophy, you can tell that it was written in a time before the advancement in the study of cell biology. So keep that in mind when you do get around to reading it. For sure, that's another thing that Riggins does really well in his breakdown of origins. Not origins, of anti-Dühring, as he says, this is where the science has been updated. Like, here's where there's modern science that's, that Engels would have been able to read and change what he said, based on the modern research and scientific advancement. So there are places where anti-Dühring is slightly outdated, but that's bound to happen with any book written about science, because science is not static. It is fluid and ever changing, if you didn't know. So Waka and Lulu got no experience from that. Rough. Probably should have thrown them in at some point, but
Milady.
That guy sounds funny as hell. You guys' hair is more greasy than Vaush. Much like Marxism, science is constantly changing. That's because Marxism is a science, baby. Right on. Woo!
I told him I was a guardian. Well, I guess I had to, really.
How come you speak Al bed? Why?
Well,
she's
Because
Al-Bed, so stop being
I'm
racist,
Al-Bed.
Waka.
And that was my brother.
You knew? Why didn't you tell me?
Because you're
we knew
racist.
you'd be upset.
You are
This
literally
is
racist
great.
towards the Al-Bed.
I can't believe I've been traveling with an Al bed, a heathen.
You're wrong. We have nothing against Yevon.
But you Al bed used the forbidden machina. You know what that means? Sin was born because people use machina.
You got proof? Show me proof.
It's
Like
in
an
Yevon's
atheist
teaching.
debating a
Not that you know.
creationist.
That's not good enough. Yevon says this. Yevon says that. Can't you think for yourself?
Well, then you tell me. Where did sin come from, huh?
I don't know.
You badmouth Yevon, and that's all you can come up with.
But that doesn't mean you should do whatever they say without thinking. Nothing will ever change that way.
Nothing has to change.
You want sin to keep coming back? There might be a way to stop it, you know?
Sin will be gone once we atone for our past mistakes.
When? How?
If we keep faith in Yevon's teachings, it will be gone one day.
A lot of
Why
religious
do I
commentary
even
right
bother?
here.
Riku,
A lot of it.
will this move?
Yes,
We're not using that, are we?
Yes.
Wait. Sir Aron isn't Al bed too, is he?
Come on, Waka.
Come on, you racist
What?
bitch.
I mean, getting angry just because you found out Riku's an Al-Bed. You guys got along fine till now, didn't you?
That's different. I mean,
Well, I don't claim to know that much about Spira. And I probably know even less about the Al-Bed, but I know Riku's a good person. She's just Riku.
Lou,
Very well done
Just
against
think of this as an
Voosh.
opportunity
I
to
insulted
learn
him
more
heavily in
about
the
the
Unelectable Airways channel chat. Thank you, Siparowsk. I'm glad you enjoyed the debate.
Let him go.
Thank you.
Give him time to think.
Give him time to think about how racist he is.
I'm sorry. You've done nothing to apologize for.
All right, let's ride.
you sure you know how to drive this?
Kimari's
Better
about
than
to
Kimari
blast
does.
off. All right, we off. Troush, that's a good name for Troush.
Sorry about Waka.
Hello, I see Final Fantasy X. You bet.
He didn't have to be so mean, yeah? I almost cried.
Yes, true,
Riku.
Jacob.
Just kidding. It's okay. At least you're still nice. Hey,
Dang, this looks
do
dangerous.
I look like Uni, you think?
Huh?
Well, my dad's sister is Uni's mother. You get it?
Ah, I had no idea. If you say so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess you're guarding your family then.
Yuna's not the only one that I want to protect.
Huh?
We Al Bhed want to protect all of the summoners, you know? Summoners are, well, you could say that they sacrifice themselves too well to bring happiness to Spira.
What do you mean?
Oh,
Riku?
yes?
Sacrifice themselves?
You know, the pilgrimage. It, takes a lot out of you.
Oh, right. But you know, Yuna's real serious about being a summoner. For Yuna, well, the pilgrimage kind of means everything to her. You are going to help her too, aren't you, Riku? So you shouldn't say that Yuna's sacrificing herself. Riku?
I hope you're right.
I watched the debate on Infrared channel on Kick TV. Yeah, it's funny that Infrared streamed it and I didn't stream it. And then I hopped on Infrared afterwards and discussed it, which happened by accident. But yeah, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you thought it was a fat dub for the real Marxists. This is really cool graphics right now. So cool. Yeah. Good stuff. Bausch is garbage. He always has been.
Halt! The likes of her are not welcome in this hallowed place.
She is a guardian.
An Al Bhed? A guardian? Preposterous!
I've decided to be Yuna's guardian now. And that's all I want.
And that's all one needs to be a guardian.
Very well.
Oh, that guy gave in quickly. Him and Walker get along because they're both racist. Gave each other the praise be to Yevon sign. All right, folks. Well, we made it to Macalania Hall. We made it to the temple.
There you are.
I guess we got a cutscene now.
So, Lady Yuna is getting married. You shouldn't kid around about these things.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're not happy?
Nah, it's complicated.
I love her.
Say, do you know where Yuna is?
Because he loves
I
her.
believe she's gone to the Cloister of Trials with Maester Seymour.
The Cloister of Trials.
Lord Biscuit,
Oh, shoot. I did not mean to do
a
that.
sphere in Lady Yuna's belongings.
Okay. Meant to save. I think we'll take on Macalania Temple next time, folks. So we've been going for about an hour, but yeah, thanks for tuning into the gaming stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to do a post-mortem with Carlos and Noah later today, breaking down the Voosh stream, breaking down everything that happened, breaking down some of the points that I wanted to flesh out further, and then also some of Voosh's debate tricks, his rhetorical tactics that he used. Carlos wants to use philosophy to explain how stupid a lot of the stuff he said was, and how a lot of his rhetorical tactics are dishonest. So curious about a Marxist take on Final Fantasy X. I got a lot of takes on it. I mean, there's less politics in it, and more just commentary about religion, but Yeah, keep coming back to the streams. What's the name of the breakdown of anti-do ring Eddie was site? Sorry, I'll send this before I go here. If you go to Dr. Reagan's book series, which is right on the front page of our website, midwesternmarks.com, and then you go to anti-do ring series, and then I will copy and paste it for you here as well. There you go. I just threw it in the chat. So, yeah, enjoy that. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you later today with Carlos and Noah. Appreciate y'all. Peace. Solidarity forever.